Hey guys, check this out. We are here with the all-new Toyota CHR. This thing is a lot more expensive. I'm talking $11,000 for the GXL and the Cobra, and this range-topping GR Sport, well, that'll set you back $55,500 Australian dollars before on-road costs. That's up $16,500. Nothing's cheap anymore. So today we're going to take you for a full review of the new CHR. We're going to check out the exterior, interior, practicality, because it's never really been a strong suit of the CHR, but is it better now? Let's check it out. We're going to launch this thing by racing some people off some lights, but we're still gonna get to 100 kilometers an hour, don't worry. And then I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on this. Should you buy the all-new Toyota CHR? Let's get into it. Alrighty, let's talk about the way that the CHR looks, because I'll be honest with you guys, I think that this is the reason you would buy one of these. It is a very good looking small SUV. This has got the new hammerhead design from Toyota, which is the new rage, and frankly, it looks fantastic. You've got these like boomerang style lights here. Just a really cool look. You've got these very bright bi-LED lights here. And if you go for the GXL, which is the entry range, it's okay. You still get LED, so okay. You've got the GR grille here, which is a bit more aggressive, a bit more aero, although it doesn't need to be. So a lot of it is plugged up. You've also got the GR badge here. Even though this isn't a full-fat GR model, the new GR Sport does come with more power. It also comes in all-wheel drive. You could only get that with the GR Sport. So yeah, I think it's a really, really good looking car, especially with this yellow paint. You get it with a two-tone roof and even the back three-quarter panel. Let me know what you guys think. I reckon that that is my favorite. Let's check out the side. Alrighty, let's talk about the side now of the CHR. So first of all, it's actually got a shorter front overhang. So now it's 30 millimeters shorter in length. It is wider though, so it's got a bit of a more sporty stance to it. Here in the GR Sport, you actually have upgraded brake sizes. It's 325, I believe. It's like 30 millimeters bigger. So it makes some difference, but it's hard to tell. You've really got to be thinking about it. These wheels as well, they're 19 inches and wrapped in Michelin E-Primacy tires for that beautiful fuel efficiency that you get with one of these. And we'll come back to that. It's pretty damn good. Got these blacked out mirror caps here with a 360 camera. I love these flush door handles, a first for a Toyota, and they work totally fine. You've got a blacked out roof here. As I said, you can get it with a two-tone roof. You can get the back completely blacked out as well, painted too, and it does really rise up in price. So these things can definitely start knocking on the door of $60,000 drive away, which is a lot of money. But otherwise, it does look very CHR, so they're very coupy in its design, and unfortunately, that does eat into practicality, especially with these small windows stuck on the interior. And I'll be honest with you, a Corolla Cross is just a lot more practical, but you'll see that in a moment. Let's check out the bum. So as you can see, very sloping roofline, and there is no rear windscreen wiper. Apparently that helps to give this a better drag coefficient, 0.31. Essentially it just means that water will roll off the back. Haven't been able to test that out though, to be fair. I love the new rear tail lights, very cool. And the Toyota CHR badge is within the light and does illuminate. So again, very, very cool. You have your hybrid electric vehicle badge there. Unfortunately, Australia doesn't get the plug-in hybrid, which is a shame, but to be fair, no one really buys them. You've also got a GR Sport badge there. That's how you know that this one's the spicy one. And also being the GR Sport, you also get a nicer rear bumper, a bit more aggro. Overall, I really like the way that this thing looks, but I don't think everyone does. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you like the way the new CHR looks? Alrighty guys, let's talk about practicality, which unfortunately for the CHR doesn't do that great. You can only get this in a hybrid now here in Australia, hence some of the really high price increases. But also here in the GR Sport, because we have an electric motor at the rear, it does take up more space. So with both rows up, you get 362 liters of boot space. Really not the best. So that is a decent amount, but you're definitely gonna find a lot more practicality in something like a Corolla Cross or even a RAV4, which this is again, kind of close in price. And unfortunately again for the CHR, the interior takes a bit of a practicality hit. Let's check that out. Alrighty guys, let's talk about the interior now of the all new CHR, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. It's hard to justify 55,000 bucks for the, at least the inside of this thing, because it feels nice, but it doesn't feel like 60 grand on the roads. Here in the GR Sport, you do get all the niceties. So it is a very nice place to be. You have soft touch materials in most places. You have Alcantara-like suede here on the doors. You've also got this really cool ambient lighting that runs around with some cool but scratchy plastics. And the design itself is very, very nice indeed. It feels just premium in here. But again, pushing 60 grand premium, I don't know about that. Storage and practicality for such a small car is very good. You have this open area here with some rubberized padding. That's very good. Pretty massive glove box. You have this open area here with a wireless charger for your phone. A couple of cup holders there too. You have a nice soft center armrest with, again, heaps of storage in there, plus a USB-C port, a little 12-volt socky-wocky. You've got another USB-C port here, and it is still well equipped. You know, it's not lacking. These GR Sport seats, which look amazing, feel amazing, are really, really supportive as well. And at least on the driver's side, they're automatic adjustment, but not for the passenger side. They're also heated, which is great, but not cooled, which you would find in a higher spec Kona Hybrid for less money. The steering wheel as well is just so nice. It's the new design language, and it does just feel so good in the hands. You can use it to control everything. It's obviously the GR Sport one, so it's the same shape, but it's got this red and white stitching on it. You've got the GR badge there. It does feel really nice and special to hold on to, frankly. Up in front of you is a digital instrument cluster that works fine. Actually shows plenty of information. It's one of the more customizable ones out there now, which is nice to see from Toyota. And I can't not mention this massive display here. It's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's super duper responsive. I love the energy flow meter when you have a hybrid like this. It's just a cool thing to see. And yeah, I've got zero complaints. It's certainly one of the best out there. Really, really good. Same with the aircon controls. You know, something small like that. They're physical. They're just there. They're easy to use. Big fan. You've got a Lexus style shifter now. By the way, that big whack was the door handles coming in. And you have a JBL sound system here with real metal grates up here, which does sound very, very good. You can option yourself a sunroof, and I'm in two minds about that because it's one of those ones you can't actually close. Apparently it has infrared technology and other things to keep it nice and cool in the summer. But honestly, I haven't been able to test that out. And the issue with not having it is it's a really, really dark cabin. It's so dark in here. And you'll see that in the back seats, but even filming my B-roll shots, you know, of the interior, I really have to turn up the brightness, and you'll see in some shots that some parts of the car are really bright, and then as you go further in, it gets really dark. But it certainly feels really premium, and it's just a nice place to be as well. And to be honest, even though it introduces a lot more scratchy plastics, you do get a lot of the same experience in the GXL without fancy things like the 64 color ambient lighting, which to be honest, you don't really need. So I don't know if I'd be speccing up for this GR Sport just because of its price point, but something like the Cobra or the GXL, which are the lower grades, well, they just have I think a better price to value ratio. Let's check out the back seats. Okay, so back seats now, and I'm not gonna lie, the story gets a little worse back here. So scratchy materials are just everywhere. In fact, everywhere you touch is just scratchy plastics. So that really isn't the best. Also, it's quite hard to get in. The door is quite low. So yeah, look, sitting in the back here is not gonna be for everyone. I'm 5'11". I do have enough leg room. Toe room is pretty good too. And headroom is actually pretty decent. It's not gonna blow your mind. And I think something like the Toyota Corolla Cross, which is also based on the Corolla platform, is going to be a lot more practical, albeit less stylish. There are some other things in here which just aren't that great. There's no center armrest, which again, at this price point, you would really expect it. You've got one USB-C port, but no air vents. You do have map pockets on the passenger side, but not the driver's side. At this price point, I would definitely expect at least air vents, a map pocket here, and a pull-down center armrest. I find that quite strange that it's not here, pushing almost 60 grand. So if I'm being totally honest, the low point of this car is definitely the back seats. But thankfully, how this thing drives is definitely the high point. So let's launch it. Alrighty guys, it's time to launch the Toyota CHR. We are in the GR Sport, which comes exclusively with the best powertrain apparently. The 2-litre hybrid system all-wheel drive. We are at the most natural point for any drag race, which is of course the on-ramp to a highway, because the launch is in literal city of Melbourne. So we're still gonna do it. We're gonna get the time, but unfortunately we're gonna have to race all of our fellow car drivers, all of our fellow commuters. What will the car do? We're about to find out. Oh, and this guy's just stopped. Do you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's go, baby! Well, I won, but I did cheat. Oh my God! Hey, that's actually really good. 0 to 100 in 7.68 seconds. I will take that. That's quite fast. And don't forget, guys, if you want to buy one of these or any other car and you want literally the best price possible and cars that are actually in stock, make sure you check out carsauce.com/buy. We've partnered with Australia's #1 car buying service with thousands of 5-star reviews, and using our literal thousands of dealers, we make them fight quite literally for the absolute best price, and we take a small fixed commission no matter what you pay, so we're always on your side. And me and my team, we're gonna help you out. So carsauce.com/buy if you want to buy a new CHR or any other car. Trust me, it's worth it. All right, let's drive it. Alrighty, mummies and daddies, we are in the middle of peak hour traffic, baby. Don't worry, we'll be able to have a little bit of fun soon. But to be honest, this is where hybrids thrive. So now there are 2 engines available here. Beautiful Australia. Oh, GR Sport me. There's a 1.8 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that is of course paired to a single front electric motor, which is actually about as powerful as the petrol motor, with the engine pushing out 72 kilowatt of power, 142 newton meters of torque, and the electric motor pushing out 70 kilowatt of power and 185 newton meters of torque. That sounds pretty good, but unfortunately it doesn't quite combine very well. You get a combined power output of 103 kilowatts, which is actually a lot better than it was before, because now there's a 5th generation Toyota hybrid technology, essentially more powerful motors, more efficient motors, and a lithium ion battery instead of a nickel metal hydrate battery, or however the hell you say that. And so that means more power, less weight. Good stuff. And to be honest, that is the powertrain I would get, because right now I'm sitting in the GR Sport, which comes with a sporty 2-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and that engine puts out 112 kilowatt of power, 190 newton meters of torque, but it's also got 2 electric motors, 83 kilowatt up front and a 30 kilowatt at the rear. And so therefore, with all 4 wheels pumping, and assuming you have an ideal state of battery, you've got 145 kilowatt of combined power. But you know, if we put our foot down, it's actually surprisingly quick, like surprisingly quick. But I'm not sure that's exactly what you want if you're buying a hybrid car. Maybe you do, but I think for the majority of people, you just want ideal efficiency. And to be honest, that's where the 1.8 litre is just better for that. I was getting 4.3 litres per 100 kilometers on a pretty intense, stretchy bit of back roads, which is fantastic fuel economy. Toyota does it best, there's no doubt about that. Unfortunately for Hyundai, they will get close with the new Kona Hybrid, but not that good. But if we have a look at this here, we can see that we're getting, well, 6.9 is terrible. You get a lot better than that, but about 5.3 or so. So yes, unfortunately, the added weight of the motor at the rear, and of course the petrol engine, well, it just means that this is less efficient. Although, to be fair, like I said, put your foot down, it's got a surprising amount of grunt to it. So let's talk about everything else about the way that this thing drives. It's relatively quiet. It's not the most quiet on the interior, but it certainly feels very refined. And to be honest, when you're playing music, especially in the JBL sound system here, it's fantastic. You kind of just forget about the world. And in that sense, it could be thought of as a little bit boring, but at the same time, if you're buying a small SUV like this, it's kind of what you want. And it's comfortable. The suspension tuning on this, even in the GR Sport, it's just so comfortable. Yes, that means that in the twisties, you get a bit of body roll, but do you really care? To be honest, I don't. And also, we can put on the autonomous driving adaptive cruise control. You can see it all pops up there. We can also turn on the lane centering there, and this thing will essentially drive itself down the highway with stop and go. It's one of the best systems out there now, which wasn't a thing from Toyota for the longest time, but they've done it, which is awesome. I still think the GR Sport is a bit too expensive for my liking, and if it were my money, I would go for one of the lower grades or just a Toyota Corolla Cross, which is more practical overall. But there's no doubt that this thing drives really well. It's so comfortable. It's a nice place to sit, nice place to be. You get the Lexus display that you don't get in a Corolla Cross. And so in that sense, it feels sportier, it feels cooler, but it's not necessary. You know what I mean. Alrighty guys, let's get into the final thoughts. Alrighty guys, final thoughts now on the Toyota CHR. Should you buy one? Well, yes-ish with a caveat. You see, this is not the value play of the Toyota hybrid range. If you want similar with more practicality for less money, go for the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. However, if you are looking to buy one of these, I would go for like the GXL. Just go straight for the entry level. I think then you're getting a really good package. That 1.8 litre is a really good engine. But to be honest, I would probably still go for the Corolla Cross over one of these, which is really a twin under the skin. If you want to learn more about that, check out the link in the description below. And of course, if you want to buy this or any other car like a Corolla Cross, we can get it for you cheaper and of course in stock. So head to carsauce.com/buy. Ciao for now.